K-pop and K-dramas have gained significant popularity in the Middle East. But it's not only the interest in Korean culture, but also the interest in K-technology, including K-smaartfarm technology that's been on the rise in this region. Let's find out more with today's K-correspondent Kim Doehyung, researcher at the KOREATECH Technology Transfer Institute in Egypt. Hello, Doehyung.
Hello, Doehyung.
Hello. Hello, Soha and Walter. Thank you for having me today.
Great to have you on the program. So, Doehyung, could you please briefly introduce yourself to our viewers and what brought you to Egypt?
Yeah, sure. I work in both research and field operation related to the economy, technological education, and development cooperation in aspect of Middle East and Africa region. I am researcher at the Technology Transfer Institute of KOREATECH, and I came to Venezuela in Egypt, a very small city, to support the KOREATECH project for establishment and operation of Venezuela Technological University.
That sounds fantastic.
Excellent. Now, obviously, we're going to talk to you about smart farms, but before we go on to our main topic, how do you perceive the popularity of the Korean wave in Egypt right now? Like, how has it changed and what's particular, I guess, hot right now, do you think?
Actually, the Korean wave continues in Egypt, I think. Even in Venezuela, in this small city, the people often approach me with questions about Korean dramas and music and sports once they realize I'm Korean. And sometimes they even know Korean dramas or music that I'm not familiar with. What's particularly encouraging is the noticeable change since I was in Egypt back in 2018. At that time, the popularity of Korean culture was largely focused around entertainment figures like boy or girl groups such as Blackpink or BTS. However, now I see growing interest not only in cultural content, but also in Korea's industry and education system, and even its politics and history sometimes. I believe this indicates that the Korean wave is no longer just a trend, but is becoming more deeply rooted and expanding into broader area of the society.
Now, Doehyung, you just mentioned it a little bit right now, but apart from hallyu contents like K-pop and K-drama, we hear that there has been a quiet and steady growth in other sectors, and that includes IT, construction, and Korean food products. So tell us about the strengths of these maybe less obvious K-wave sectors.
Obviously, one of Korea's key strengths in this area lies in its exceptional ability to integrate and systematize diversity industries, I think. These strengths can significantly reduce costs and streamline decision-making processes rather than dealing with each sector separately. For example, we can see the integration of automated logistics centers and artificial intelligence-based consumer forecasting systems and precision packaging and sanitary processing system operating together. Actually, for us, it may feel familiar to us, but such this interconnected structure remains relatively rare on the global scale. I believe Korea's lesser-known strength is in this kind of cross-sector convergence, which ultimately enhances overall efficiency and economic value, I think.
So how are Korean companies being assessed at the moment? Apart from obviously the superiority in technology, as you just mentioned, are there any other factors that result in positive perception in Korean brands in Egypt?
Korean companies are recognized locally as reliable partners and key suppliers. In Egypt, one of the main factors contributing to the positive perception of a Korean brand, obviously, it is trust. This trust is shaped by several elements. Firstly, institutional trust built by Korean government agencies in the world stage, and emotional and cultural familiarity generated by Korean cultural content like K-drama and K-movie and K-pop. and behavioral trust based on consumer service and after sales support by Korean companies in the world market, I think.
It's great to see that positive perception of Korean brands in Egypt as well. I can imagine that that could include car brands especially, and also smartphones, of course. Now, we've heard also that there's a lot of interest in K-smart farms in the Middle East. So let's delve deeper into this issue. Smart farms may be a little new to some of our viewers. Could you please first introduce us to that concept, smart farms?
Smart farm is a science-based agricultural approach that uses information and communication technology to remotely and automatically monitor and manage product growing environment without the limitations of time or location. It not only increases agriculture output but also improves working conditions by reducing labor hours. And so by providing a proper growth environment, Smart Farm allows for accurate predictions of harvest timing, and yield, while significantly improving both the quality and quantity of crops. However, there is no single definition or fixed format for Smart Farm. Its design and structure can diverge greatly depending on the user's needs, such as which agriculture area is being targeted, what hardware and software are used or equipped, and the scale of the operation, and so on.
Yes, I've been hearing a lot about smart farms being used in Europe, but I'm very curious about Egypt, obviously, and how is K-Sma트팜's technology being utilized locally right now, and are there any products being actually grown and used or sold at the moment?
Recently, actually, it is not case of Egypt, but in the Middle East countries, especially those in Gulf area, have shown strong interest in securing stable produce supply changes. It leads to a growing focus on smart agriculture. So in this context, Korean smart farm solution companies are gaining significantly attention. So Gulf countries in especially are expressing huge interest in K-smart farms. These countries are actively pursuing MOUs for smart farms models that can satisfy their needs, such as some vertical farms and aquaponic systems. Notably, there are plans to use smart farms to cultivate and sell crop varieties that align with local taste and preference. I hope to this kind of the smart farm will grow some vegetables and and they can sell in the local market, I think.
So then, talking more about the Middle Eastern region, then Doehyung, are K-smart farms bringing maybe more attention to Korean food culture and lifestyle in general? And also, do you see the potential in any changes of food trends stemming from smart farms in the future?
The spread of K-smart farms could help increase interest in Korean food culture and lifestyle. In particular, as K-cultural content continues to expand globally, especially in the Middle East region as well. So Korean cuisine and dining customs that frequently featured in these contents. It remains a point of fascination for K-lovers around the world. So K-smart farms can offer opportunities to partially replicated Korean food and dining culture in local, I think. So for instance, people may be able to make Korean style kimchi themselves from some vegetables from the smart farm, and or imitate the tradition of serving various side dishes, aka banchan. So if interest in Korean culture continues to grow alongside the development of K-smart farms, then the fusion of food culture may not be such a distant reality.
Something tells me if this K-Smaartfarm grows further in the Middle East and maybe later also more specifically in Egypt, we might even have new produce like catered to the tastes, the palates of the people in the Middle East, and then those products may be again imported into Korea and vice versa. But finally, Doehyung, do you think smart farms could also play a role in, raising the image of Korea's culture and hallyu, just like K-pop and K-drama does?
Absolutely. Technology has always played a key role in shaping a country's brand image, and smart farming is expected to be one of the pivotal technologies of the future. So in this regard, smart farms are likely to contribute significantly to enhancing Korea's national image. So especially now, when Korean cultural content is so popular, K-smart farms can act like a spark that makes even more people interested in hallyu.
All right, thank you very much, Doehyung, for connecting with us today. That's all the time we have. Let's hope for Korea's technology to cater to many more regions in the Middle East and beyond, to boost agriculture and maybe even solve global food shortage issues or other issues connected to food. Well, thank you again and keep in touch.
Thank you, Doehyung.
Thank you.
And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to see you back here on the Culture Wave next week.
See you next week.